Hello, welcome to the show. Blackpool winning yesterday. So if you're new here, post in the comments your thoughts. I will put them up on screen. If you're watching this on the replay, you can't obviously comment during the game. So if you want to comment in the comment section below, that's great as well. I'd love to give you, to hear your opinions, and I will reply in your comments after the stream has ended. But for now, let's talk to you lot. Okay, so we've got Semi-Charm Life is here. Hello, Semi-Charm Life. How are you? All right. Our Everton fan in America. Followed us for a long time. W&G fan is here. Finally, our first home win since September 2024. Yes, indeed. 6 months of hurt, as Pickle said at the end of the video. It's been 6 months of just disappointment, really. And lots of times I thought we should have won. I thought, we had the chances to win. And it's been a long time coming. And it's amazing that we have to go down to 10 men to do it. Happy Sunday, Eugene McGeever. Steve Huntley's here. It says, home win at last. Yes, indeed. Were you there? Have you seen it? What are your thoughts on it? There's a couple of, obviously, very important sort of incidents that happened during the game. One was Fletcher getting sent off when we were playing really, really well. We couldn't really see it from exactly what went on from where we were. A lot of people who were close to the incident seemed to think that nothing really happened. We are appealing it as a club, which is normally a case of death because we never get these things overturned. But they must be confident in it. It was very strange that the linesman didn't give it. It was like, literally 5 yards away, and the fourth official was doing it after being pressured by the opposition. By the by loads from the Crawley bench. Apparently they were all surrounding him. So was it a sending off? Did you see it? Let me know. Niall Ennis as well. Ole ole. I'm liking his new song as well. Ennis again. Ole ole. Yeah, Pickle is he's, to be honest with you, he's taking to it like a duck to water. The two of them, Bestie and Pickle, I've started for years. They're bit shy about being on camera, or they have been all the time, but he stepped up to the plate, hasn't he? Because Mike Davis again was going to be the guest yesterday, but unfortunately his knee is really bad. He was walking on 2 crutches. He looked in real pain, and he's waiting for an op, so there's no way he could just sit in those seats for 90 minutes. So I've just done an interview with him, which you will see sometime later. But yeah, he stepped up, and he's getting more confident, and he's just coming on with it, and it's really good. Oh, all right, Dunbar's here. Hello, how are you doing? Right, so we've not got too many in the chat. My thoughts on the game, if you want to, please do post your comments, and I'll reply to them. But my thoughts on it were that I thought we were cruising. We were really cruising, and I couldn't see anything but a Blackpool demolishing them, really. And even the goal that they got, I just thought Blackpool were going to get more, because we were literally all over them, and they couldn't cope with Ennis, they couldn't cope with Fletcher, they couldn't cope with CJ. They just could not cope. Hayden Coulson was having a great game. I did mention on the video, he put a superb ball through to James Husband. It was just beautiful, straight into the box. And unfortunately, the defender did get a block on it, and he should have had a third. Really, should have had a hat trick before they even scored. And the goal somehow, I don't know whether it unsettled us just for a moment. The sending off then, completely turned the game on its head, and we were hanging on a little bit in a way that I didn't really want us to see us doing that. I wanted us to keep on taking it to them. But anyway, we defended doggedly, and really in the second half, I didn't think, they only had a couple of half chances, didn't they, really? It was that fear all the time you had because we were defending deep, but they never really got through us. And the times we managed to break away, and Ennis on the halfway line, those little turns he did, he should have got his hat trick. And, at least we got some justice with the penalty. I thought the penalty was a little bit soft, if I'm being honest. I think he might have grabbed all of his hand, but he seemed to fall without the guy holding on to him at the time when he went down, Gabriel. So I don't know, but anyway, we will take it. Okay. Yes, it is. It is. It's really sad, and it's his knee replacement that's the problem. He's already had a knee replacement, and he's having to have it redone, which is such a shame. I was talking to you, obviously, I've got the Graham Oates video to come soon as well, but before the Mike Davis interview. I've just been so busy, but he was saying like he'd had a knee replacement, been absolutely fantastic, but it seems like Ginger's had a lot of problems with his, and it is sad, and it's one of those things, being a footballer, I suppose, but he did look in a lot of pain. Ryan Dunbar thinks it was a red card. What was it? Why was it? In what way was it? Because, I mean, the club are appealing it. So what is it that you're seeing that the club aren't seeing? And I don't know, because I wasn't close enough to see it. I've not even watched the highlights. I was going to watch the extended highlights on Tangerine TV, but I've not had time to see if I could see it, get a better view of it. Callum Coyle say, it was not a red ever. So we've got disagreement in the ranks. Callum Coyle, not a red ever. And of course, he's got the Ennis again. Ennis again. Ole, ole. Yeah, I'm loving it. They are appealing, apparently. Bruce has said we are going to appeal in it, so apparently are. Yeah, Ennis the Menace. Yeah, that's a thread that's on View from the Tower as well. Somebody said. I said to Pickle, when you're watching him, he looks too good for this division. If I'm being honest, he looks like a striker from, he looks like a good striker from a league above. He did things at times. I mean, you've probably seen his second goal where he kind of just steps on it and pushes it in with his, he just kind of like rolls it under his foot as it's going over it. I mean, the timing. He did a couple of things. He did a turn down the right wing, coming to the south stand, or left, obviously, down the right wing. He turned the defender. He kind of let the ball run round him, and it just went out of touch. But he was genius. I said to Pickle, how did he do that? Because I thought he'd flicked it, but he hadn't. He just kind of twisted on it and didn't, and let the ball run through. But it sold, the keeper up. Sold the defend, that left back down the river. Really, it was superb, and he does do things that look really, really like a Premier League striker, to be honest. And I could, you could see how their defence was just struggling to hold him. And I can't wait. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for Bloxham to come back and to see those two playing together, because if we get Bloxham back, well, blimey, you know what I mean? It could just. It is exciting. It's going to be really exciting. Who dived, Callum? Who dived? Will that? I mean, the question is as well. Do you think this will ignite Blackpool? They've finally got the monkey off the back with the home wins. They've done that. They've done it with 10 men. They must have come off buzzing. They must be buzzing. We're playing Stockport on Saturday away, which is a hard game. The good news, I suppose, for us is that Callum Connolly got sent off in the 94th minute, so he won't be facing us. And I was kind of fearing that he would come back to haunt us, Stockport fans, I've been saying he's been playing really, really well. Are you going to Stockport? Have you got a ticket? Yeah, but it's weird, isn't it, Cal? Tell you what, Ennis is going to cost someone a serious amount of money one day. Serious money. But the thing is, he's pretty much unwanted. The Stoke City, he went to Blackburn Rovers, he failed. He's Stoke City, when, I read on the message boards, Blackpool fans had asked Stoke fans, what do we think of Ennis? And the general opinion from the Stoke fans was, we'll drive him to Blackpool ourselves. He's absolute garbage. So he's only going to go for big money because of the way he's playing here. But he hasn't been doing that. So yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it? We turn him into the blooming world beater, and we can't afford to buy him because everybody now wants him. But nobody wanted him. There was nobody in for him other than us. Yeah, he does things you never expected. He certainly does. He's got it all for me, and I think Bloxham, it'll be fantastic with the two of them. Right. So Ryan now said it's a definite you were saying a definite red. Are you now backtracking on that, Ryan? Because you now say the ball's in the air and actually catches the lad with his arm and takes him down. But you didn't really see it because that's all you can see. So is it a definite red or not? Because that is not a red. You know, if he elbows him in the face with, you know, with a raised elbow and goes right into him and knocks him out with his, red card. But just like getting tangled up with somebody with a jump in the air is not a red card. Ennis does seem to have that bit of quality. Ryan Thomas says Ennis could be out permanently. Could be. Is that ours permanently? But remember, new players or cheaper tickets. Well, you've got to. You can't have one or the other. If you've not got look, everybody who buys a football club, anybody who buys a football club, buys it knowing they're going to have to put money into it because there's not many football clubs that make money. Even the big teams in the Premier League, you know, don't make money. There's only a few that make money. The whole thing is just a money sucking hobby. You know, you've got to have the money to be able to afford to do it, and you've got to have the money to be able to make sure that you can afford to run the club without rinsing the fans, or you come up with ideas that raise money that don't come from just putting up ticket prices, especially when you own a club that's in one of the poorest towns in the country. You know, you can't charge too much, but you've got to have reasonably priced tickets. But if as an owner of a club, you've got to buy players and you've got to have ambition, because if you don't, you know, it's not going to happen. And all you're going to get is bloody grief from the fans all the time if you're not showing any ambition. And, you know, that's one of the problems that Simon Saddle's facing at the moment, where the fans are not happy in the fact that so far he hasn't done any of the things that he's promised. You know, it's I've said it before, it's like rinse and repeat with the oysters, isn't it? We've heard all these stories before, until we actually see a digger digging and somebody putting the groundworks in, nothing's happening, you know. And we've still got Squires Gate. I know he's put millions into it, and that's great, but it's still crappy Squires Gate, and it's not the best weather-wise. On top of anything else, it blows a gale down there. So, you know, he's got to be able to do both. He's got to be able to provide cheap tickets, and he's got to be able to provide buy new players and make us competitive to get back in the Championship and ultimately get in the Premier League. And if you haven't got those goals, then what the hell are you buying a football club for? You know, Valerie Bellicon didn't come in and start saying, oh, you know, we haven't got the money to do it, and, you know, we'll try and stay in the Championship, and we'll try and stay one place above relegation, and all that garbage that we had to listen to at the club. So, you know, from Ben Mansford. So, no, Bellicon came in, didn't he? And he just said, look, you know, I'm going to get you in the Premier League in 5 years. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get you there. And he got us there in 4. And that's what you've got to have. You've got to have ambition. And I see these teams all the time. It was like a couple of seasons ago when we were going down out of the Championship, and Bournemouth were stuttering, you know, in January, and it was looking like they might not get back in the Premier League, and they spent fortunes in January. I remember they got that striker from Cardiff, and, you know, they spent loads of money, and they got back in. And you've got to have that ambition. If you don't have that ambition, or you haven't got the money, then you shouldn't be blooming doing it. And if you're going to keep moaning about putting 5 million in every year and using it as some sort of blooming stick to beat us with then about how wonderful you are putting the money in, well, that's, you know, unfortunately, we expect you to do that as a bare minimum, keep us going, because we know we've only got at the moment 10,000 fans, but we all believe we should have 15, and we should have a ground that, you know, it's the attendances are 18,000. We're making more money, you know. But even if you did that, even if we had 18,000, it ain't gonna, you know, it doesn't cover wages. You've got to get more TV money, and, you know, and eventually, if you can, get in the Premier League, and that would solve everything, wouldn't it? But no, I can't. It's not new players. It's new players and cheaper tickets for me. Well, I don't know, Callum. It's not going to be easy, Stockport. And they actually battered us down here. They played us off the park at Bloomfield Road. So I don't know. All depends on when this Bloxon's back for me. Where do you think Blackpool will finish in League One this season? Where I think they'll finish is, I think we'll just miss out. But where I hope we'll finish is that we'll just get in the playoffs. You know, I've got to hope still. I still think there's enough games to go for us to pull back, but we've got a lot of points to pull back. Still got 9. You know, there's so many teams above us. That, you know, the trouble is, okay, we're 9 points behind them, but there's so many of them above us that it's hard for them all to fail. Yeah, we should be looking to buy Ennis before the price goes up, but we're not going to get a chance. But if anybody's going to, you know, he's only excelling again at League One, isn't he? You know, if anybody's looking at him, they'll have seen that he's pretty much failed when he's played in the Championship. So people may be thinking he's maybe not good enough, you know, for the Championship, but he's too good for League One. But would they want to take a gamble? Would a Championship club who could afford him want to take a gamble on him? And then again, you know, he's been, you know, he was playing football and he was doing really, really well. He did the step up, a bit like, you know, Bowler did. He did the step up to the Championship, and he's failed on him twice, and he's not getting games, and I suppose it's just not a happy time, not a happy place for him in his mind and everything. You just saw how he was. I don't know if you've seen the alternative highlights which they do, which I actually like. I think that they are fabulous that they do, where they do it from all different angles, and they, you know, they film the north, and you know, you get those closer angles to the pitch, and it's all just obviously Blackpool. There's a little bit of stuff, you know, in the dressing rooms as they're going out, and then they're filming them all on the pitch at the end, and you can see him celebrating in front of the North Stand. They're all singing his name, and he just looked, you know, so incredibly happy. You know, he really did look on top of the world. And, you know, maybe he could just, you know, it can happen like Jordan Rose, where he just falls in love with being at Blackpool and the team and everything else, and he's in a very happy place, and he'd rather play for us than make a move to somewhere and be miserable again. Because you'll, when you see the Mike Davis interview, he's another one that says, you know, the camaraderie in the dressing room at Blackpool when he was there was unbelievable. They had so much fun. You know, he was one of the funny ones as well. He was one of the jokers in the pack, and he used to get in trouble for all sorts of things. But yeah, he loved his time at Blackpool. And whenever you speak to former players, they all tend to say the same thing, that the atmosphere at Blackpool, you know, the dressing room camaraderie and the bond between the players is quite often very, very strong, and it kind of brings out the best in them. So maybe he might want to stay anyway. He might, you know, just fall in love with it. And no, I tell you what, I could do a year here and really, and if we go on the Championship, you could do it. And if Bloxham and Ennis start playing really well, we've got a really good chance of putting a really good run together, I think. Yeah, we're 9 points away from the playoff position. So, you know, 3 wins away, but there's still a lot of games, but there's a lot of teams who are 9, you know, there are a lot of teams above us that we've got to get above, but you've just got to put on a fantastic run. Well, this is the problem, Ryan. It's the ref didn't have a clue. The ref hasn't got a clue. It's the fourth official that told him to give him a red card. He had to go over to the fourth official. The linesman had no idea, and he was right in front of it. So I don't think he thought anything. The ref didn't know. He had to go over and get advice, and that's the issue. Yeah, Mansfield Town. Yeah, well, they're terrible. I mean, they're not going to beat Wrexham, Mansfield, and you know, they're just not a good side. I don't know why we played so bad against them, how we didn't beat them. I don't know. Yeah, we're 9 points away from the playoffs. Callum, 9 points. 2 clubs, both unhappy at the moment with the higher ups. I'm loving football at the minute. Yeah. It's not over yet though. Dalek is here. Hello, Dalek. Looking at the fixtures, there's a distinct possibility of Birmingham gaining promotion when they play at Blackpool. That might be a fun occasion. Well, it won't be a fun occasion if we stop them getting promotion at Blackpool, and there's every chance we can. We should have beat Birmingham at Birmingham, to be honest. We're the better team. Just the post stopped us beating them, but yeah. I don't really, when Blackpool play the way they can play, I think I'm like everybody else. I don't fear any club, but the trouble is with Blackpool is we don't always play the way that we can. A lot is hanging on Bloxham for me. I don't know how long he's going to be out. How long has he been out now? 3 weeks, but he was making an amazing difference. We've missed him. I think we'd have probably won a couple of them home games if we'd have had Bloxham in, but we won without Bloxham. So, but there's that, there is that battling together quality, and you saw it yesterday. You know, with 10 men, they fought for that victory, and that will have been a very well-earned victory for them, and they'll be flying high. Also, I just want to mention as well, I don't know any of you that went, or if you've watched my video, I was saying to Jane just a couple of weeks ago how wonderful it is now at Bloomfield Road, where the stewards are all just hi, and you walk in and nobody bothers you, and they just like to talk to you. And I said, they've finally listened, and they've taken note of a few times when I've said that the South Stand, I don't think there's ever been a smoke bomb thrown from the South Stand. There was that one issue, that one time where it was, I think it was against Fleetwood, where the lad ran on and there was that little bit of trouble and scuffle. But that was because they had, because it was Fleetwood and there was a lot of animosity. A lot of people had come into the South Stand knowing they'd be close to the Fleetwood fans. But normally the South Stand, it's not, it's only half full in it. They don't let you go and sit really far over near the away fans at the moment. It's kind of segregated over there, and it's all full of blooming. They hardly sing, they do sing, but it's not like the North Stand. It's not full of like loads of aggravation. So why on earth they decided yesterday to do this searching? And I mean, I would say this was the worst searching we've ever had at Bloomfield Road, where they search your front and back, and it was honestly it doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers a lot of people. It upsets some people. Some people don't like to be physically touched by other people and are offended by it, and children don't particularly want to be searched. So some might find it funny, but it's not. It's a thing. You've done all this work to get like 9,000 in. They've done all these quid a kid, and it showed there was there's actually kids on my video this time at the end, isn't there? Because there's actually some children around. There's not been any children to interview, and children are always dead easy because they burst into be on YouTube, because it's just like us. When I was a kid, I wanted to be on TV all the time, wanted to be on every TV show that you could possibly be on, if you could, but they're around, and they want to be on. The mums and dads come on, get him on, and all this sort of stuff. So it's great. So they do all that incentives to bring, they got 9,000. So they've done well with the attendance, because there was only about 200 or maybe 300 tops from Crawley. And then they start searching everybody and just like piss everybody off. It's just ridiculous. I'm thinking, what the hell? I'm thinking like Crawley can't be a game that they're worried about anything happening. There's been no Bloomfield Road this year. I mean, they barred a lot of people for throwing smoke bombs on the pitch and all the rest of it. And I don't think there's not been a smoke bomb thrown on the pitch on the North Stand all season, really. Whether they thought, well, we're giving cheaper tickets to 18-year-olds, maybe some nutters will come back in again. But those 18-year-olds are not sitting in the South Stand. They're sitting on the North Stand. And the South Stand and equally the West Stand just don't need searching. It's just pointless. And it will just make certain people not come again. You know what I mean? And it makes big queues, and it's people are struggling to get in, and the whole thing's just a fiasco. So what do you think about that? I hate it personally, and I hate the club for doing it. I think it's a ridiculous thing to do. And of course, there was no trouble at all, was there? There was never going to be any trouble against Crawley, was there? Not like we're playing the Nobbers, is it? Yeah, Steve Huntley says, surely they should utilise bloomers more during the summer to raise revenue. Well, absolutely. I mean, especially with the seasons finishing early in May, they've got plenty of time to. You see how popular the Lytham Festival is, and they could have a festival like that before Lytham. They could do it like a May bank holiday thing with, maybe make a whole weekend of it, a few days, and get concerts in and all the rest of it. Take all the pitch up and whatever, and then take the pitch up and redo the pitch. Would make a lot more money. And, if you can't make money in Blackpool with a big facility like that could do concerts and things, if you can't make money in a town like Blackpool, where whatever you put on, people can come and stay, and there's hotels for them to come, and they're going to book. If you get the right artist, they're going to book. Then, you know, if you haven't got the imagination to come up with something that could make the club money in the summer, then I don't know what you're doing as a CEO or whatever you are of this club, because they clearly had no imagination other than sticking the prices up and charging more for kids. And, you know my thoughts on that. I keep going on about it, but it annoys me. Ryan Dunbar says, if we can get Bloxham back in time for the running, I think we are playoff bound. I tend to agree with you. Nobby Roberts says, we do seem to have a lot of punch up front with loads of options. Bloxham and Apter are tops. Remember 2007? Well, and when it did click, it was 10 victories on the bounce before Oldham. Yes, it's just, I kind of mentioned it before, Fleetwood Town, when they got in the playoffs a few seasons ago, I remember they were getting draw after draw after draw after draw. They couldn't win. I remember Cod's Vlogs, Nappers on Cod's Vlogs was moaning that we just can't get a win. And then all of a sudden it clicked. And it was kind of like, then once they started winning, then all those draws then become like an unbeaten. And so far we're actually unbeaten, aren't we, in this year? So if you start winning, you have this unbeatable feeling about yourself. You know, if we can just keep winning now, anything could happen. And I do, if Bloxham comes back, we've got a real chance. Oh, Mansfield Town have equalised Wrexham. Come on, Mansfield. Eugene McGreevy says, I think Luton will be relegated to League One again from the Championship this season. Yeah, I just don't understand what's gone wrong there at Luton. All that money. Semi-Charm Life says, I hope Jane's doing well. Yeah, she's doing very, very well. We got one of those Oculus, the Meta Quest thing. She loves it. She plays a 3D jigsaw game on. She's on it all the time. She loves it, and she loves all the training stuff. There's lots of things that keep fit stuff. Yeah, there's been a few complaints online about the searches yesterday. Absolutely, they should well be. Well, they should well complain about it. Even the SLO was searched going in, and he wasn't very happy about it either. So it's just ridiculous, and I just don't think something like this. I mean, somebody was saying there's like a higher level of a terrorist threat or something that they're blaming it on, but you know what I mean. I mean, blimey. If you were thinking of making a terrorist attack, the last place on earth that would get any news really would be Blackpool, wouldn't it? It would be a failed mission in the world of atrocities if somebody did something at Blackpool. It's just not high profile enough, Nobody care, to be honest. So, not like they would if it was London or, Manchester or Liverpool or anything, Birmingham or any of the big cities, but like Blackpool, I mean, most people have not even heard of it, so it wouldn't be a really big thing to target Blackpool. But you can't say it would never happen, but I very much doubt there was something would happen at a Blackpool football match. I made it onto TV, did I? Did I make it onto TV? Yes, I did. Yes, I did make it onto TV. Eventually, yes, as an adult, I finally got my dream, and I always want to be on TV. So much. Sure, but it's the thing with it is YouTube is now kids' TV, and they want to be on. I'm telling you, it's such a badge of honor if they get to be on a YouTube video. I did. There was the little. Foxhall boys team. I don't know what age they were with. I don't know, under 10s or under 12s or something. But they were with the coaches and everything, and their mums and dads, and they just couldn't be on quick enough. And when I did the group photograph of them, they're all going mental. Even the mums and dads were going mental because the kids are getting on TV. Marketing and merchandising, yeah. You would err on the side of caution where safety is concerned. Yeah, but I just... Could be wrong, could be right. I mean, they've been letting us in all season without any trouble whatsoever. There's not been any trouble at the games. The stewards have been great. You know what I mean? Dead friendly. There's something I like about it when you go to a ground and the stewards are just friendly and normal and you can talk to them. I remember when Jane and I went to Doncaster Rovers. You may remember that video a few years ago when I first started. And when we went in, I don't know. I'd only got about 1,500 subscribers then, and there was a steward there. And the minute I said I was on YouTube, they gave me the Royal Tour. It's like a family zone. He was like, you know, then the one of the promotion girls for the club came up and she was telling me all about it. And she's kept in touch with me over the years. They always wanted us to come back, you know, and do as a full tour when we came back. But of course, you know, they got relegated. They've got a chance of getting back up, and if we are playing Doncaster again, I'll definitely link up with them again, and I'll do an even better video on Doncaster. But they were so friendly, so nice, so warm and welcoming. And then you go to all the places, and it's just Jobsworth. And we seem to have got quite, you know, we seem to suddenly, from all the very nice stewards, we had quite a lot of Jobsworth stewards yesterday who, you know, I did say to the steward who was patting me down, I said, if you take my Murray mints, if you confiscate my Murray mints, I'm not going to be happy. Because I had 4 Murray mints. I always take like 4 Murray mints or 4 sucky sweets, you know, sometimes because my mouth gets dry when I'm talking. So I smuggle in 4 Murray mints into the ground. I thought, if they take them off me, I'm going to be so angry, honestly. I really was. I really had fear that I was going to lose my Murray mints. I thought, it's going to pat me down. I'll say, what are these? Yes, it was. It was, if you ever find that video, it's a long time ago when we played Doncaster, but yeah, the steward was just, you know, told me his name, he was telling us all. They had this like penalty shootout where I beat Jane as well. This little penalty shootout thing. It was like a family zone. It was brilliant. I know, I smuggled him in. It's my thing, it is. Werther's or Murray mints, just something nice and, you know, something nice and sort of creamy to suck during the game. Well, especially when the game sucks, you know. You only need 4, 2 for each half. So if I smuggle in 4 Murray mints, I just, you know. So yeah, does anybody else smuggle any sweets into the ground like I do? Yeah. So I'm feeling happy. I said I'll always do these streams when I don't like doing. I mean, I did one the other week, didn't I, where I wasn't very happy, and somebody posted in the comments, moan, moan, moan. And I'm thinking, this, you know, it's the last thing that I do is moan. Really, is, you know, I try my best not to moan. You know, there's things that do annoy me, but at the end of the day, I always like to be doing these things when I'm happy, and I'm absolutely buzzing about yesterday. There's something about yesterday that just was very special. In the way that, you know, we battled as 10 men, you know, the fact that I could see until, you know, before we got the Fletcher sent off, how good we were. I know Crawley weren't, you know, a good side, but quite often you play these teams. I've said it loads of times. You play teams who are battling down at the bottom of the league, and they are, you know, they're hard to beat. Sometimes they're fighting for their lives, and I honestly thought it was going to be like. When that second went in and then we missed the third, I thought, oh God, this is going to be about like 7-0 or something. I'm going to see like a record thing. And then it just all went to pieces. But even though it did, we still battled on, and we still, you know, we didn't let them equalise. And we, you know, we went on and got a third, which, you know, and we could have had 4 come, because now then I mean, that was just brilliant, wasn't it? I just wish he'd have scored, because it would go down as like a goal that you'd never forget it, would you? In fact, that hat trick, if it had got that hat trick, it would have been like, would it be the perfect hat trick? You know, when they talk about, well, it's sort of left foot, right foot header, isn't it? So, but he, you know, his first one, he was just, you know, I always say it, CJ puts the ball in and he's in the perfect place, isn't he? Right on his head, and he just puts it away easy. His second one was just so cool. I mean, I know Pickle says it reminds him a bit of Brazil, and I was thinking, oh my God, it's Brazil. And he said it just sounded a bit daft saying Brazil, but he has got like that street, as if he's played on the streets in Brazil, those little tricks like that. And then if he'd have scored that where he's just won it up on the halfway line and just twisted that defender inside out, got the other side of him. They couldn't catch him, could they? Then, they tried to catch him. They couldn't catch him. And he got the shot off, and it was, I don't know how close it was, but it was only just wide. If that had gone in, his hat trick, would have been probably one of the best hat tricks I've ever seen at Bloomfield Road. It's just a shame he didn't get it. Yes, we smuggle going to the theatre as well. We definitely always take a bag of sweets in. It costs enough to go without to buy sweets as well. For about £10 for a bag of blooming fruit pastels when they're about £1.50 something. We have like a home bargains here. Which is just like they have like a whole, it's like a really cheap supermarket, but they have like a whole aisle of just sweets, and they're just so cheap. You can just get yourself a bag of like lime fruit salads for £1.15 or something, and compared to they last me the whole show. So yeah, we often take sweets in, and I think the movies allow you to take them in now. Yeah, Mansfield last week was crazy. Oh, and international breaks always cock us up, don't they? Just when we're starting to do well. Yeah, proper Maradona. What is that there you've done? What does that even mean? I don't know what that means. I mean, I like it, but I don't know what it means. You have to tell me what that means. Is that something to do with I like it anyway. So, yeah, proper Maradona. Yeah, he is. Somebody was saying I was reading on A View from the Tower, so somebody said they like the way he kind of like sticks his bum out, and kind of forces them back when he's got the ball. He keeps them off. He's quite strong for a small player. He's a pretty strong. Yeah. Oh, hat tricks. Oh, it's a hat. Oh yes, of course I can see it now. Yeah, hat tricks. Yeah. Shame we didn't get one. Yeah. Sorry, I mean being thick. I can't tell any of the icons are too small. But anyway, tricks like Diego Maradona. Indeed, he's just got something about him, and you can see he does things that we haven't seen for a while at Bloomfield Road from a striker. In fact, I can't really remember a striker ever looking so promising as this guy. Really, the minute he came on, I thought, ooh, this guy looks really good, and you're thinking, maybe he's just not got confidence, but now he's banging him in, and yeah, we probably won't bloody afford him. Bruce will turn him into a player that's just everybody be bloody wanting, won't they? He'll finish off with about 20 goals at Blackpool in 12 games, 15 games. How many games have we got to go, by the way? Just might as well have a look at the table while we're here. I think we're at 11th. Let's have a look. League One table. Yeah, so Blackpool now, we've played 32, so there's 14 games to go in there. So we've got 14 games to go. So that's possible if we won them all. This is how you start to think as a football fan. If we win them all, if we can just win all those games, 14 games. So that's like 42 points. 42 points would take us to 86. We'd have a chance then, wouldn't we? Yes, Diego Maradona unfortunately was the hand of God. Don't even bring it up, or else you'll start me on a rant about it. I still suffer to this day with that goal. It just was unbelievable, wasn't it? But he was a tricky little player, Diego Maradona, and he was that kind of little small, really stocky, well built, heavy, big muscly legs and all the rest of it. Just a big backside and just that sort of like powerful lower sense of gravity, and that's what that Ennis has got, and Bloxham's just would complement him so well. I can't actually wait to see, as long as Bloxham's properly back fit as he was, and it's not done any damage to him, and he plays like he did, and it's not taking a yard of pace off him from whatever he's done, because I don't even know what he's done. Yeah, we are. Yeah, potential 42 points in the future. Indeed, we're nailed on to finish top 10. Yeah, I would say we are. Certainly no fear of Blackpool going. I don't want to say it before we get safe, but really, we're not looking like a going down side. We're looking like a team that's really getting we look like a team that's clicking. You know, Steve Bruce has got them clicking, and you could see that yesterday. There's obviously some serious camaraderie and team spirit going on as well, which is an absolute essential, isn't it? You know, for any team that's going to do anything, that is essential. It's just all looking very, very good. I'm really pleased. I'm really happy that I finally got to make a winning video. I do say on the end of the video that, you know, I'm up till I actually got it done by about 12:30, which wasn't too bad, to be honest. But the difference for me when I'm making, you know, I'm sat here editing a winning video and I'm sort of enjoying making it because I know the story already, but I can see that we're enjoying it and what we're saying, and but I know when I'm editing it's going to come out good, and I know there's going to be a penalty and everything, and I'm just making it all, and I'm feeling good all the way through it. I'm just feeling good, and when I finish it, I'm like, yes, that's just super. That's like my favorite video in well over a year. That is my favorite video in over a year. I loved making it so much. I love the fact that I had a sneaky feeling we were good. You know, I wasn't 100% confident, but I was confident going in that we were going to get this one. I couldn't believe it when we got the man, you know, when Fletcher got sent off and they got a goal. I thought, oh no, surely not after all I've said on the way in on the video. But no, they did me proud, and it makes such a difference to everything that I do when they win. And it's just so awful when we lose, or it's a 0-0 draw and I've got to make some sort of video. And I think, I feel sometimes like saying, I might as well just not bother making one. Just film some tumbleweed or take a clip of some tumbleweed, just put that on, because there's nothing to say. But it's great. Right, so you thought Bloxham had a twisted ankle. Yeah, he may have just twisted it. It is painful. You can recover from a twisted ankle. A dislocated ankle is a different thing, but a twisted ankle is, you know, just... I had one of those actually dancing when I was 16 in the house, and I went over on my ankle. Blooming heck, it hurt. It really did hurt. But I've never had any trouble with it since. WNG fan says Burton, Crawley, Shrewsbury and Cambridge are still going to get relegated by the end of the season, but there might be a surprise relegation of Peterborough if Burton wins enough matches. Well, yeah, that is the thing in it, because Gary Bowyer has got them playing a lot better, and they've signed this striker who, you know, he scored against us. We couldn't stop him scoring, and he could have had another. To be fair, he was a bit unlucky not to get two for them. But yeah, no, Burton have turned it around. Peterborough just, I don't know. It's unbelievable, Peterborough, isn't it? Because normally they're a bit of a yo-yo club in between League One and the Championship, aren't they? They can't stay in the Championship. They come back down. They go back up. They come back down. They go back up. Come back down. But this time they're really struggling, and yeah, that won't disappoint me at all, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I said in the pre-match that you hadn't beaten them yet. Well, I mean, we'd only played them, you know, we've only played them that was the fourth time we played them, but we hadn't, you know, we'd lost twice and drawn. So, you know, we lost to them at the start of the season, didn't we, under Critch. It was terrible. So, yeah, I started to think, God, have they got some sort of like hoodoo sign over us, another team with that? But yeah, job done indeed. Right, that was it. There's nothing really much else to say. I think we're definitely going up. I think this is it. Honestly, if Bloxham comes back, if they can get Fletcher's red card overturned, that would be good. If they don't, we're going to have to do it without him, so we will need Bloxham back. Although, the other thing as well, before I go, I do say in the video when they brought Bloxham on, because I was saying he doesn't get stuck in. He never seems to. He's one of those players that just kind of tries, but just always careful. Probably because of his injuries and stuff that he doesn't want to get injured. But blooming heck, he went in. Did he go in hard? Just shut me completely up. It was going down the left wing, and he just took the ball out lovely, took the player out. It just clattered everything out. But it was a perfect tackle. But he took the player as well after. And they all went out. The player went off the pitch, but flipping heck, he didn't hold back at all, and I was like, wow, that's just a pickle. Just after I said he doesn't get stuck in, he flew in. So that was good to see. I love Steve Bruce more and more and more as the season goes on, and I do hope, we've got him for 2 years. I hope he stays for another year, and I hope he maybe even signs a longer contract and he's loving his time here, because we all know he kind of jumped ship, Bruce, but I'm throughout his career, he has jumped ship when he's doing well, hasn't he? But he's getting old now, and whether he'd want to go through all the stress, you know, the stress he would have been under, say, at Newcastle, where, you know, the fans are demanding stuff, whereas the stress at Blackpool's not, you know, nothing like that sort of thing. And if he got Blackpool in the Premier League, he'd be a legend, and nobody would give him stick, even if we came down with no points, you know what I mean? Because it's just, that's what would be expected. But anyway, it's all looking good. I'm going to get off. I'm just happy. I'm happy you guys are happy. Hope Fletcher's red card gets rescinded, and I hope Blackpool go on an incredible run now, and this is the start of something brilliant. The proof of the pudding will be next Saturday at Stockport. If we win at Stockport, then I would be starting to believe a little bit. At the moment, I'm not so. Blocksmith's a calf strain, still on treatment table, another week or two. Flipping heck. Semi-Charm Life says, thanks for joining us, everyone. Hit the like button and take care. Yes, thanks a lot for joining in on the stream and posting. It's always nice when there's somebody here to talk to. And if, as I say, if you've come and you're watching this to the end and you're just watching it on the replay, then thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for anybody who comments. I will respond in the comments below. Come on the pool. See you all hopefully next week when we've won at Stockport. Thanks a lot for watching. Catch you later, guys. Bye.